Good evening, welcome back to the Student StarCraft AI tournament. We have got a lot of good games. It's going to be the first one, of course, Toothpick Cactus, of course. It's one of the recommendations, so let's see where it's going to go. It's Toothpick versus Fresh Meat, and Fresh Meat, of course, and I'm going to show you in a little while, or just right now, what kind of upgrades we've got. Fresh Meat is the Zerg project from Halpan, and it's doing a lot of cool stuff, getting a lot of attention at the moment. Halpan got an update as well, won't be showing you that today, but the other things we have got. So yes, actual AI research being done, and let's see what is going to come out of it, because we are starting with a lot of drones. Overlord at the natural, no other scouting going on, and well, Halpan told me Fresh Meat was based of its AIT tournament bot, so the functionality is limited, but it should be able of putting off some nice tricks. Here come the Zerglings, and Toothpick Cactus' scouting SUV is dead, so first blood drawn, and the Zerglings retire to the natural choke. Natural Natch is prepping, and we are going to see something that looks like, I think, either a den or an evo chamber, and at Toothpicks we see a bunker which is interestingly placed for the defense of the main. It's pretty good, but not for the natural, and the Marines are going to stand at the natural choke, and the main natural command center is going to be done momentarily, so that's pretty aggressive eco-wise. No SCV transfer. And the building SCV is going back, and another one is going to mine, so that's pretty cool. Meanwhile, only one barrack, so versus a Zerg which has got 6 or 8 Zerglings sitting at home. No, that must be 8. It's pretty ballsy. Luckily, the Zerg is not going to do very much. We've got a lair and a Hydra den, so guess what's coming to come out of that. Meanwhile, Toothpick is ahead in workers, in army supply. But, oh, here comes the comsat. So, if that is what I think it is going to be pretty hard to actually put it off. The drone count for Fresh Meat, though, is excellent, and although there is only one Sunkens, ooh, that's pretty aggressive eco-wise. That is a lot of bio already, only 2 barracks, 3 command centers, 2 barracks defense. Overdoing it a little bit, but you've got 2 comsats, and this might be an opportunity for another comsat. More Sunkens coming up. That is a nice touch, and ooh, I need to have a peek. Yes, we have got Lurker Aspect, and this will probably be either Chamber or a Spire, or perhaps another hatch. I'm not really good at gauging how big that actually is. Meanwhile, third has completed for Toothpick, and Marines are moving out. The medics in the rear. How many sunk? We've got 4 Sunkens and a handful of Zerglings. That's good, but I think that Fresh Meat is a little bit slow on. Oh, that's a hatch. Excellently done. Producing army. Now the army is there. The medics do catch up. We have got Stim, and if it doesn't balk in and out all too much, it will probably be successful. Third comsat up, so if there are going to be lurkers, they are in for a bit of a scan. But the bio army isn't really capable of stopping these Sunkens, which is rather difficult. Now we've got 2 lurkers. They are not yet burrowed. Now they do. The scan goes off, but 2 lurkers do pack quite a punch, and all these Stim Marines, they die. And now we've got a bit of a oh dear, chase going on. The lurkers, they just try to run up and burrow, and well, this is like a 5 lurker leapfrog, which is quite funny to watch, and this bio army doesn't want to have anything to do with that. Unfortunately, there is not really a strategy to cope with the lurkers over here. There are no tanks, no mines, and eventually they will have to fight, and that's a lot of lurkers coming up. No third base yet, and more Hydras being streamed in. And right now, you are going to need, that's about 8 or 10 lurkers. That's going to be quite interesting to attack with a pure bio army, and you can see that the death toll on both sides is considerable. But on the Terran side, the most considerable, and you can see these Marines trying to do their best, but well, actually are doing their best, but it's just not enough, and the lurkers, they just roll in, and the SCVs are very brave, but without a scan, it's, the scan goes off now, but it's an interesting proposition attacking into 10 lurkers with just SCVs. here comes a vulture, and there dies the vulture. 4th base started. Lots of money in the bank, but no production and no clue how to fight lurker. So I think that Fresh Meat will have this in the bag. Let's see if we got any upgrades. We've got link speed, lurker aspect, no third, and just lots of lurkers being morphed all across the way. And right now we've got a lot of lurkers coming up. So yes, there are 6 barracks and there is additional income, and another command center will probably be started, but still you've got to hold on to your base, and this is a lot of lurkers. Now the rallies are there, but we've got 10 lurkers on the high ground. Oh god, the SUVs are being sent up the ramp over the top, and this is just not going to work. So here we go, the ramp has been reached. Production will soon be... Oh, we've got a siege tank, that's good. Let's see how well that one siege tank can do against all the Zerg. It's getting quite a number of kills, but I fear in the end it will not be enough, and the Zerglings just ignore the tank for reasons. Here come the lurkers, let's see if they can do anything about that. We've got 2 tanks now, so as these lurkers will be hesitant to attack the tank, we've got this turret on the edge, so this is actually a pretty decent defensive setup with 2 tanks. Oh, that's a vulture, a 3rd tank might have been nice as well. And you can see these 2 tanks dispatching with quite a number of Zerg, and of course the barracks here are still intact-ish. But then again, a lot of Zerg are streaming in. The tanks are doing their best, and the bunker is excellently placed. So an astounding number of Zerg are falling. The turret here fell though, so this the tank will have to wait for either a scan or the lurkers popping up. And once they do, they'll get blasted. 3 tanks now, that's actually decent. Barracks lifting, nice bit of technology by Toothpick, and the main base is being restarted. Meanwhile, more Zerg are being ferried into the main base. The 3 tanks though have sort of got this ramp thing under control. And the bunker is helping a lot as well, so this is nice death trap by Toothpick. Quite accidental, but still very, very deadly. Oh, the comsat is going to burn down, but you've got these 4 barracks still, and the 3 tanks, and we might actually have one more. Oh, I don't think this is the wisest. This actually is very stupid. I can only hope this one is out of range, but you can see a lot of damage being done. Oh god, this might just lose. Yeah, and now the Zerglings going after the tanks. So Toothpick really misreading the situation, and now the Zerg are in the base. No 3rd base yet. That is interesting. Drone count's pretty nice for Fresh Meat. And harvesting is going on at the 3rd, but no actual base taking. Oh, and another tank and another bunker. So, oh, and a wraith as well. So that's pretty cute. Toothpick is setting up shop at the other end of the map, doing quite well, I must say. And, oh, the bunker now falling, so perhaps these 2 tanks, they've got 1 turret. But the tanks are a little bit suicidal. They want to siege up in range of the lurkers, but that's, well, deadly, and the Zerg army completely ignores the tanks, so that might do something for you. Meanwhile, we've got a small army. I think that Toothpick has given up the base. The 3 tanks with the floating building and the turret were still there. And now the question is, look, that's... Oh, the naturals mined out, and now long distance mining is going on here. Toothpick has nearly got a 3rd base up again, and quite a nice bio army, so... we should do something about this though. Here come the Marines. Oh, the medic cover is suboptimal to say the least. And there is a science vessel overhead, but just this pure bio thing is not really going to work against the lurkers all that well. And now the natural choke is breached. And Fresh Meat doing pretty decently, I must say. So, oh, Matrix SCV at the ramp doing quite nicely, but this base will soon be overrun as well, and, well, without siege tanks this time, I'm positive that this base will not be long for this world. Mining out like a train and not going to build another hatch. That might be a small point to improve upon. And now we've got this one base with a lot of money in the bank. But what is Toothpick now going to do? Oh, it's going to die, because here you can see all the army converging upon this base. And although there isn't a Hydra left, that is the GG. So next game up. Oh, well, let's see what kind of recommendations I've got. Oh god. What are we recording now? Must be recording something. This one? No, that's... Oh, I split my browsers again. We are recording this one, so that's good. Okay, so next game up, it's Crazio Terran versus Dragon. And, well, recommendation, always glad to have a game of Crazio Terran on the stream, so let's see how it's going to play out. Still waiting for Crazio Terran to come back to the tournament server, but I wasn't going to comment on that, but it needs to be said because we really miss it. Especially with the whole Liquidus and Purple Wave thing going on. It would be great to actually have Crazio back with us again. So 1 Marine into 2 command centers, 2 factories, and at Dragon's end of the map we've got a very quick starport, 1 factory, and an interestingly placed bunker, must be said. Either it's a fancy play or Dragon is somehow misanalyzing the map. Crazio, meanwhile, starting the natural as well, so these naturals will be done at about the same time. Worker count is... oh, this is very noisy, all these tanks sieging, unsieging. Worker count dead equal, and Crazio has got a little bit more army supply, but has got a couple of vultures, and Dragon is going to go out with a handful of wraiths. Ooh, which might actually do quite well, although there is a Goliath already. But the air cover with the wraiths and the buildings, that will be the deciding factor, I think. And the buildings, they can't really stand the heat of these wraiths, and the Goliath can't really cover the buildings as well. So I think that Dragon has got a bit of an edge and might, behind this, actually try and take a 3rd base. Meanwhile, more tanks rolling up, and you can see that Crazio is under a lot of pressure. This wraith tank thing is very, very deadly. Oh, and the repair is not on point, so Crazio getting 2 tank kills, that's very important. Army-wise, Crazio still a little bit ahead. There is a Valkyrie, which is good against the wraiths, but still very dangerous, as there are 4 wraiths and only 1 Valkyrie. A couple of Goliaths behind that, that's going to be interesting. Oh, the barracks will probably burn down if it's not repaired quite quickly. Dragon, though, getting in a little bit too far, and as the air cover is not there anymore, Crazio is taking some back. Dragon, however, has started 2 command centers, so is setting up for the mid-game, and is not, well, is trying to reinforce its contain. And Crazio is feeling the pressure, can't move out. But the Valkyrie is doing quite well against the wraiths, must be said. Here comes some SCVs for some repair, and Dragon might do well with the Goliath. Oh, and the penultimate tank, there is a new one just rolling up. Last tank of the actual contain is dead, so now Crazio should be in a better shape, but the 3rd is up already, and Dragon is going to build more stuff. The supply is rocking ahead, and that's mainly in worker supply, so if Dragon can somehow hold on to this contain, and there's quite a number of tanks of Crazio's waiting to lift the blockade. The repair is too late, and with a couple of good well-placed tank shots, Crazio cleans up the contain, and now it's 35 versus 18, where it must be said that in the number of 18 is a handful of bio, and probably, oh, it's a lot of bio actually. So Dragon will need to produce a large army soon, and try and do something about Crazio's army, because that's not going to be easy at all. Crazio's got a decent mech army and very well knows how to fight with that. The wraiths and the air cover thing is going on again. Dragon has got a great worker lead, but somehow needs to translate that into an army before Crazio reaches its natural choke. There is production outside of the base, but I can't really understand why Dragon would switch into bio. That's, well, not borderline insane, but it's very difficult to play a mech Terran like Crazio with bio. You can see these Marines don't really dare approach the tanks, and the tanks are just going to inch forward and blast the hell out of any infantry they might encounter. Also, the armor for Crazio is quite good. They haven't got the armor at all. And has Dragon got the got range? got +1. But still, the armor of the tank deals quite nicely with this marine fire, and Stint Marines without medics versus Crazio's tanks. That's charge of the Infantry Brigade, and that's a little bit worse than the charge of the Light Brigade. Meanwhile, Crazio has expanded as well, and although Dragon is up in bases, the army composition coming out of Dragon at the moment is complete rubbish against a mech Terran like Crazio. Wraith's doing well again, must be said, and Dragon seems to have the upper hand in the air, but there is just an enormous lack of tanks, and if with these bio units you were to storm one of these bases or drop anywhere, that would be actually great, but you can't see the amount of damage Crazio is doing right here. Dragon has been producing Marines for a long time, but they can't even reach the first tank, and then there are more tanks behind that. The Wraiths, though, are getting a little bit uppity, could be repaired, and Crazio can't really push forward, but with the added income, I think that the economy of Crazio, the production of Crazio, is going to increase as well. No production outside of main base, but you can see the tanks rocking up to the front. Now Dragon is fighting hard in the air. The bio cleans up anything that is not a tank, so that's good. But I feel that Dragon has got too few tanks of its own. You can see Crazio. Oh, the Wraiths though, how many have we got? We've got quite a handful. And although Crazio is trying to repel, Dragon is fighting tooth and nail with the bio, the tanks and the Wraiths. And now Crazio's got a decent air force of its own. So it's still anyone's game, and I think that Crazio with the high ground has got the better position, and Dragon is trying to counter that with air superiority. That is a lot of Wraiths, and I think with the Goliath should be amongst the tanks and not in the rear. And it looks like that Dragon is inching forward a little bit, but at what cost? Because the bio casualties are atrocious, and Crazio is just going to claim the map. Dragon is not really keeping up with the macro at this point. Work count virtually equal, and this might even be a disadvantage for a Dragon, because then you can't produce as much army. The total supplies are not dead even, but I can't understand how Dragon is figuring on beating a mech army with that much bio. It's just not happening. Crazio is now gaining ground. It's very convenient to have a battle raging this spot. You can just park your screen over here and speed up, speed down. And you can see Crazio now getting ahead in supply, and that's Dragon's making more workers, but he is mining out. Has only got 2 more bases, and Crazio, still all over the map, is on top of this base as well, and Dragon now with a couple of tanks doing well, but needs to do a lot of damage with these few tanks. So Crazio has gained the high ground though, and Crazio has got a fair number of Wraiths, but they are not as effective because there are so many Marines interspersed between the tanks, and Crazio going completely overboard on the Wraiths, I feel. Dragon though can't really maintain this because the income is just not there. This base is mining out, this base is still here, but other than that, Crazio is booming economy-wise and can afford to lose a bit of ground, and well, has to kill some units because the supplies are not too different right now. And if Crazio insists on building inferior units like vultures, it's not really going to get much done with those. The tank count for Dragon is dwindling though, only 5. Crazio's got lots more. The rates of Crazio though are not as effective, and Dragon is actually pushing Crazio back with an army which is 20 supply down, which is crazy. Now only 1 base left for Dragon. Dragon will have to make this push work, otherwise it's going to be dead in the water, and you can see the supply difference is now about 30. Crazio still hanging on, but the air force is sort of not there. And Dragon the push is petering out. There's only 2 tanks, 1 tank, and this is the last tank with a handful of bio and mice matrix and a couple of Wraiths, but it's only 2 tanks versus an army of many, and you can see that Dragon is running out of steam. The Wraiths of Crazio are shutting down this tank and all. The Wraiths are under attack, and now it's just a total rout. Crazio going to roll into the bases of Dragon, and in the end it's going to be a macro victory. You can see how Crazio's sprawling all across the map, Dragon's mined out, and that's the GG. Okay, well, what's this? Am I still recording something? What am I recording? I am recording this, so yeah, I split my browser screen because I'm stupid. But I'm going to cast Purple Wave against Crazio, and let's see how Purple Wave's doing. Of course, I need not remind you that, based on ELO rating, Locutus is on top. Seder got retired, so Locutus is dishing out the damage by the bucket load. More than 130 points behind that is Purple Wave, and then the rest. And then Crazio Protoss doing okay, and then another 100, almost 80 points down is Iron. So it's a pretty steep drop after these 3 gentle bots, and especially Locutus is rolling. But Purple Wave, a very good number 2. And it might be nice to see, well, Crazio Terran just come back to the ladder, please. So that's that. We've got a Scouting Pro being obnoxious, but the SimCity, although a little bit not elegant, is effective. Crazio going for a quick factory, and Purple Wave going for a quick expansion of a ranged, must be ranged goon kind of thing. And now doing quite a bit of damage, but I think here is the first tank, and now these goons don't really want to have to die today, although Protoss are always so keen on having a good day to die on. But with this tank, oh, this tank is pretty ballsy though, but the goons, oh, repair it! Mr. SCV, please! Other tank, please come and help me. It's dangerous out there, and I don't know. The eBay is getting some flack as well. Now 2 tanks in the front, more in the rear. I think Crazio's just sort of secured its natural. And the goons of Purple Wave are not as good as the goons of Locutus still, but let's see what Purple Wave is going to do. Oh, hello. Is that a carrier thang? Yes, it is. And Crazio is investing in a lot of tanks. So hasn't seemed to have got wind of what's happening, has got an armory, but that's the tank. And more tanks, oh, 1 Goliath. So I think that Crazio has just picked up on the carrier thang, and that's some more Goliaths to help him play with. That's good, but the carriers are there already and are going to town on the 3rd base. And I think you might just stamp that into the ground, just to make sure that there isn't going to be an economic competitor to your 4 Protoss bases. But meanwhile, this one carrier is doing okay. Where are the other carriers though? One's coming up. They take a while to get built, and if they are not doing anything, it's basically a lot of money wasted, and you're just going to give the enemy an opportunity to get more anti-air forces. And so I think that Purple Wave could do a little bit better on the decision making, or just go for it, because this is 5 carriers. You can take on quite a number of Goliaths and a bunker and whatnot, and some carriers here as well with the Gateway Army. And Purple Wave is losing a lot of stuff, and that's just not good. 1 carrier over here, but can't get it done. 2 carriers is okay, but you can see that it's very hard for oh, this is just a bad Comet Micro at this point. This is a group of 6-7 carriers, and it's just harassing and now doing some damage, plowing into the main base at full speed. The other ones though are doing God knows what, and can't really even get this base to fall. And right now, if you see this, just send in 5 zealots and you can mop up the rest with the carriers if you want to. Carriers over here doing nothing, carriers over there doing nothing. Meanwhile, we've got 16 carriers doing, oh, basically dying to a lot of Goliaths. That's a lot of Goliaths. That's 35 Goliaths. That's quite a lot. Crazio just going for the kill. And Purple Wave, yeah, what can you say about this? Because the carriers are now coming in-ish, doing a lot of damage-ish. You can see the reinforcements not really hitting the scene because there are carriers harassing them from both sides. And the push is being absorbed eventually by a pack of carriers from the home front. And Purple Wave has got the supply lead and is mopping up Crazio in grand style in the middle of the map. Still though, could be a little bit more convincing because that is really a lot of carriers and that was only one Goliath. But now, middle of the map seems to be going to Purple Wave. Crazio has got the third mine out. Oh, that's going to be an economic victory for sure. Crazio now at 50 army supply. Purple Wave struggling to maintain its army supply. It's building a lot of stuff, but it's only building carriers. But now the carrier count is just going to be too high. Then that's mining out for Crazio. Crazio's out of money. And that will mean it's only going to be a matter of time with one base. Finally a ground unit trying to do something about this base. But right now it's a countdown rhyme. And Crazio, although hanging in there with 60 army supply, is just making Goliaths for what it's worth. No, that's not a drop, that's a science vessel. And I must say that that's still a lot of Goliaths. Purple Wave is not the most effective fighter with the carriers it's got, that must be said. It's just wasting carriers at this point. It's got a lot of money and resources, but it's just wasting so many carriers. That's insane. And Crazio, oh, those are two buildings, that's not going to work. Crazio is fighting so well, tooth and nail, with the units it's got, with the range, with the +3/+3. Very sturdy Goliaths, but in the end I fear it's not going to be enough, although the supplies are equaling. Crazio is getting ahead in supply even. That's absolutely insane. Purple Wave is throwing the game with a bad unit composition and bad engagements. Carriers are falling left, right and center. Let's look at the upgrades. Well, we've got the shields and +3 and the air armor as well, but oh god, Crazio is fighting like a monster on just 0 bases now. It's mined out actually. Purple Wave has got this one base, is refusing to take that one, and has got this base as well. So now these 88 supplies, this is just, this is not good. Meanwhile, in the middle of the map, Crazio is attacking the natural choke, and although some goons are doing okay, the carriers are not fighting along with the goons, and now they are, and now the Goliaths are getting mopped up, and Crazio, I fear, must be falling, although more Goliaths are coming, and they're just not all together, but it's 40 versus 80, and there is still money coming in for Purple Wave, so that's the thing you've got to remember. This base is still mining, this base is out, no long distance mining going on at all. Where are all... Oh god, there are 2 Goliaths in there. That must have been a drop, seeing this position. And 2 Goliaths over here as well. No units there. And that is actually very vulnerable. Now the carriers have had enough and they're going to stamp out this base. Doesn't matter, but hey, still nice thing to do. This base is now overrun. Still a little bit of money coming in, and you've got these minerals which are sadly forgotten by everyone. But now we've got the GG. So yes, I need to have... What the hell is this? I don't know. So is this going to be a thing? Oh yeah, it's TSU random first. Okay. Absolutely last game of Crazio, because this entire broadcast should not be about Crazio. Okay, well no, let's hop into the next game, because there is more happening. For example, an update of Jumpy Doggerbot, and perhaps we'll save TSU random vs Crazio Terran for the next broadcast, or I'll give it to Jonko, which will be providing the cast next week. Jumpy Doggo received another update, and I think it's... Oh, it's still a 4-pool, but with an extra drone added. And the other end of the map, it's Purple Spirit with the bunker, and now should be safe. Jumpy Doggo is going to build a lot of Zerglings, and that has failed, so I was hoping for an update to bring more than a 4-pool. And obviously it isn't, but there is more money now for Jumpy, so could build another hatch, but that's too late. It's too late. Okay, so we'll be watching that again. Another update we've got is Fresh Meat versus Insanity Bot. I thought, well, let's have a look. And, is this one of the recommendations, actually? Yes, this is one of the recommendations. So, let's see what's going to happen. Fresh Meat is going for a quick natural expansion, then a pool of a lot of workers. So that's very ballsy, and it's a lucky thing that Insanity Bot is not going to put on some early pressure. Some Marines are there, but not really too many. And going for what looks like to be a bio play upgrade-wise. Ooh, Hydra range and Zergling speed, that's an interesting combo. Lots and lots of Sunkens. So if you are going to play Sunken Break, you'd better bring a damn good army and micro as well. Meanwhile, Fresh Meat not taking a third. Oh, there we go. Taking a third, and now the bio army is on the move. But of course, there is quite... God, one Hydra is chasing and, oh, not even killing. But the Marines are badly microed, and only in vastly superior numbers they can kill a single Hydra. Hydras are pretty scary though, so as a Marine without medics I would be very hesitant to attack the Hydras. Now though, with a couple of medics for support, let's see, got Stim, got range, got +1, nearly done. That's a bit of a timing thing, and then running into 4 Sunkens with a couple of Hydras for backup is probably not the smartest thing to do. No lurkers yet, so from that point of view you should be okay. Meanwhile, Insanity is making units and just going to keep applying pressure. 1, 2 Sunkens are falling, and you can see how much damage these Stim Marines are capable of doing. No further upgrades, but here they're just powering through. Third base is up, but there is no superior technology, and the drones are coming off the line to help and fight. 3 more Sunkens in the rear with a couple of Hydras, but I fear that Insanity is just going to turn on the thumb screws, the macro screws as well. And although these Sunkens are excellently placed, a couple of Sunkens on the high ground for such a choke like this might work wonders as well, but you're really going to need lurkers or something like that, just to make sure you can stay in the game, and the worker count needs to be upped as well, and pronto. 1, 2 Hydras are attacking the command center, some Marines are being sent, and although the infrastructure is set. Oh, that's an excellent drop! And a couple of ghosts as well, that's pretty cute. And if there are ghosts, where are all these command centers? Yes, there we go, silos, silo alert. 1 command center got torn down. This drop though is doing a spiffing amount of damage. And it's flashing, so that's good. Now, Fresh Meat is in a bit of a bind. Of course, it hasn't really got all the capabilities you would like it to have. There is a ghost here as well. I'll need to keep an eye on this to see whether or not the nuke is ready or not. It is there. It's almost done. So once it's done, we'll, yes, have a look at ghosts cloaking here, ghosts cloaking there. Is this one dropping a nuke or just standing still? Hard to say. Yes, there it is. Oh, the Overlords are going to get it. Oh, and the Ghosts. Oh, its friend got it. So right now we've got, I believe, only 1 silo. It's not flashing 2 silos. Here might be another one. Lots of Marines coming up. No actual nukes being made anymore, but I think this battle is won. And Insanity Bot doing it in style with the nuke to put some icing on the cake. No more nukes. Yeah, 1 prepping, but that's going to be rather late, I believe. Although, no, it might just come. Let's have a look. Will we have a nuke still? Might kill some Marines, but no. That's the game. Good game. And we've got another one. And actually, I got this game 2 weeks ago, and I forgot to cast it. It was left stuck in my downloads folder, so that's apologies for that. And I'll have to cast 2. And we've got a Zerg as well with a lot of Zerglings. That's good because that's in the name. And Insanity Bot now has got a single Marine. The Zerglings though are going off in the wrong direction. That's unfortunate, but with the higher drone count this is not going to be just a 4 pool. It's going to be something else. And now with 2 Marines, oh, and the bunker will be up before these Zerglings will find the base. So I think that Insanity is pretty safe here. Run by could be attempted, but meanwhile, just this is just something you've got to avoid because you're just wasting Zerglings at this point. That's 4 Zerglings wasted, and no, not 5 and 6, but pretty wasteful as it is. Now we have got another hatch. We've got 2 Sunkens in the main, and I think that Insanity is going to be pretty pleased with this because it can now just pump Marines from its 2 barracks, get some upgrades, and increase the worker count as well. Might do with an eBay or something like this, like that here on this end. 3rd base already started, and Dolphin is going for lots of Sunkens. So pretty basic here. Natural coming up. Oh, and the Marines are coming in as well. And I think this natural is going to be killed, but with all the Sunkens and a handful of Zerglings, now the Sunkens are on the high ground, you ought to be pretty safe. No comset going to be built here, and I fear that there is going to be a science facility somewhere. The Zerglings, of course, with a couple of Hydras, are not going to cut it, I believe. We've got some upgrades for Zerg. Lurker aspect. So perhaps on the high ground with a couple of Lurkers you could hold these Terrans indefinitely. Oh, that's a nice sexy position to morph Lurkers. And the retreating Marines are getting caught on the spikes. That's pretty dangerous actually, because the Marines really don't seem to be too much inclined to help and fight off these Lurkers. They're not even willing to fire at them if they are not burrows, and that's going to be pretty dangerous. Some buildings here, comsat here and there, might be good, and still no science facility. We've got the starport. This must be the science facility. But so far, Dolphin, with a pretty rudimentary build order, with a couple of Lurkers, can stay in this game, and I really like to see these bots going at it. These Marines, when will they find hard and help fight off the Lurkers? Oh, one got a couple of shots placed in its shell, but now all the Marines are dead. It's a bad day for Bio, that must be said, because Dragon got clobbered because it insisted on making a lot of very brave bunker, very brave ghosts, but repair is not enough, and the Lurkers are breaking the defenses. 3rd base now up. More bases coming up from Insanity as well, so with the science vessel and the high ground, perhaps this time, yes, although Marines are falling quite heavily, and a lot of SCVs are falling as well. They are fighting off the Overlord, which is quite a threat of its own. Now going to defend the main command center, while the natural command center is being invested by 4 Lurkers. That's not good, these Marines. Oh, the Ghost. The Ghost! That's pretty cute. With its long range damage, can actually do quite well, but then should not we get into range of the Lurker. Now, there is... Oh, hello, that's not working. There is quite a number of... There are quite some bases more for Insanity bots, so... Might be good. Silo flashing. Some production here as well, so I think that Insanity might actually hold the main. At least if you fire at these Lurker kind of thingies. Oh, the Ghost does now, so that's... Oh, that's a nice trick, and the Lurkers will take some damage from that as well. Now 2 science vessels and no anti-air, so perhaps Insanity can sort of hold on. Oh, we've got a muter switch in progress. The muters are all over the place, but still there. Let's see what kind of units we have got now. 1 muter, 6 Lurkers, and a handful of Zerglings. But the bio count is sort of stabilizing, and now I'll have the sad duty to see where these 2 nukes are going to be placed, because you can see there is action going on all over the map. The Lurkers are still doing well, relatively well, but with the long range of these ghosts, it's... Oh, and the fire bat is doing its bit as well. Very impressive. What is Dolphin building? A couple of muters, a couple of workers. Worker count, actually pretty good. There is a lot of money, but there is hardly any gas, and that's going to be an issue. Only 1 drone mining gas here. No one mining gas there, no one mining gas there, but it seems to be that these bases are pretty recent. And now, oh, one more shot, yes, and then the suicide of the lurker. But the lurkers are pretty effective. And then the Sunkens without medics are going to clean up a lot of bio more, so that's pretty decent. A good nuke might do wonders. Yeah, I missed a drop here. The Hydra Den nearly got killed, but not entirely, so I sort of missed that. But you can see there are brown dots all over the map, infringing upon green territory, but the green territory is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And we've got these two nukes, and I don't really want to miss them, but it's very hard to keep track on everything that's going on the map. All in all, though, it seems like Dolphinbot is losing ground, still losing a base. Oh, and that's a fat round of Marines. That is pretty impressive. We've got... Is that going to be for a drop? Is a dropship building? Yes, there is. We have got two nukes. And one more prepping... Oh god, I missed that. Ah, I hate this. So the two nukes are there. And perhaps they're going to be launched on this base. That seems to be the ticket. Oh, I radiated Overlord doing a bit of damage. This base going to fall, probably without nukes. No drops. Perhaps on the next base, nukes will be drops. Drops will be nukes, whatever. Are there any ghosts? Yeah, probably. Coming up. Lots of bio. Lots and lots of bio, but... Yeah, now I missed it again. What's going on? Okay, so we've got two nukes. This base is going to fall. Is there a drop? No, there isn't. That's a lot of Sunkens. Yeah. I think these ghosts were going to nuke this base and then fell short. The nukes are just gone. Well, where the hell did they go to? Here. Here in the middle of the map, we've got ghosts. Not here. 2030 is the time. And now the nukes are gone, and God knows where, but I can't... It's a big mystery. Okay, so... yeah, let's see. One nuke is building. And now Insanity Bot is going to roam the map. Perhaps we'll get some nukes here. Newt count is 5, but that's not enough for this almost 100 supplied bio army. I really need that pointer nuclear launch detected kind of stuff. Insanity Bot is not making any units regardless of not being maxed at all. Losing a tremendous amount of units to this lurker. Or there might be two, but I don't know. No nukes being built. Oh yes, 3 are now. Okay, I'm going to give it one more shot to try and see a nuke land, but then I'll be up and off into the next game. This is very brave, you might do a lot of damage, but... 3 nukes ready. And that's 2, and they disappear so quickly. And I can't even see where... Oh, it might be here. Yes, there is a ghost. And nukes are not yet done. Nukes, nukes, nukes. The bio doing a lot of damage. The nukes will probably show up here. They disappear. Oh, yeah. Was it here then that the nukes got applied? I've been casting this stuff for years and I can't just start missing all the nukes at one time. That's just not happening. Okay, so the nukes are ready. They are showing up here. And now they're gone. It's no nukes dropped anywhere. Oh, this is rubbish. Okay, GG, Bio wins. Hop into the next game. Locutus versus Chimera. Good God, that's really frustrating experience. Sorry for that, but I just couldn't get to find the nukes. Locutus with the impeccable Dragoon Micro versus Chimera. Chimera is rolling as Protoss, which will mean it will play... Oh, we've got to have a peek. Chimera. McRave. With the advantage of Locutus not knowing that it's Protoss it will be facing up until now. First kill goes to Chimera, which is playing McRave. Ooh, the SimCity is there, but then going after the gateway, not before killing quite a number of workers. So McRave or Chimera is doing quite well. Now, with one sunken, it's not really working as well as it could be, and these zealots are backing off too far. Now, though, you could get this to work if you were a little bit more dedicated to killing of stuff. But the zealots of Chimera are not really as sturdy or not as intelligent as they could have been. Natural up for both players, cannon here as well to prevent any kind of DT stuff. Lots of gateway units killed, but I can't wrap my head around why these bloody zealots are wanting to kill the forge and the gateway and not... Ooh, is there a ranged advantage? Yes, there is a ranged advantage. Locutus is not yet with range. And now, I think that McRave/Chimera is going to do most excellently. You can see now that workers are falling. And although there is a pair of, 3 goons on the high ground, and still the prioritizing of Chimera/McRave is bad. And now you can see Locutus working its micro, working its magic, and is holding that situation which should have been lost ages ago. And there is no third base yet for McRave. McRave going into some kind of a Reaver thing. It's just completely beyond me. And now Locutus is off the leash with 4, 5, 6 goons in the middle of the map, absorbing zealots, killing goons, and this goon micro, I'll slow it down to normal speed, is just so beautiful. Even without a good concave, it's just advancing across the bridge, and even though taking some losses, is getting the job done. Now there are cannons here for Chimera bot/McRave, but let that not fool you, because Locutus, as you can see on the minimap, is actually taking another base here and is really dishing out the damage by the bucket load. Has not even got the upgrade advantage. Locutus is going to be a +1 attack upgrade behind, is going for the cannons, but the zealots are not doing anything, and the micro on the goons for Chimera/McRave is just not good enough. And oh, there is a third base for Chimera as well, so that might be good. But you can sort of see that Locutus is going to have all the zealots. Will probably fall. There is a +1 advantage for Chimera right now, and there might be a Reaver in the air as well too. This goon is getting its shield clipped off for nothing, and McRave is picking all kinds of fights which it doesn't really shouldn't want to take, and then getting in too far. Locutus with impeccable micro is just holding off everything, and it just looks like this battle where Stork had forgot the range upgrade versus Bisu. He just had superior units every time, but just couldn't get it done because he forgot range, and it's watching something like that, but much more elusive. Locutus taking another base. Where is that bloody Reaver? The bloody Reaver will need to come in pretty soon. There is the bloody Reaver, and is there a shuttle as well? Because that Reaver is direly needed. Is now flipping about here, basically taking shots from these goons, and is now going to pick up a Reaver while it's nearly dead, and that's not... You can see it hasn't got a plan. It's now even stuck in a loop. And that's a sizable portion of your army right now. You've got only 14 army supply, and 6 of that is flipping out in the middle of the base, and you've got a lot of firepower in a nearly dead shuttle. Here, going to kill the shuttle first. That's good, because with 1 or 2 more shots, the shuttle and the Reaver are now dead. You saw that coming. One goon finds the hidden base, and this is going to be why Locutus is so merciless. It's on top of everything, and it's just working the game out with pure goon. Not even that many upgrades. Leg speed and armor coming in for Chimera. So this hybrid approach is not really going to work. And the goon count for, oh, that's very clever as well, just killing the base, not taking any prisoners, and only then going after the next one. The Reaver is trying to get stuff done, but it's rather hesitant, and this goon just is pursuing it through all the cannons and making sure that the Reaver can't really get too much done. Lots of goons dying, but hey, that's what goons are for. In the end, the map is being covered in yellow, and lots of gateways everywhere. Even 5 goons sitting here at the ramp doing God knows what. Storm coming up for Chimera, but that's just too much hybrid approach, and that's just a GG. Locutus taking the game in style. Next game up, it's Microwave versus Purple Spirit. Microwave, like to see that play, like to see a good Zerg. And let's see what we've got more. We've got quite a couple of good games coming up, so that will be nice to have. Purple Spirit, of course, not the strongest of the purple bots, but still should be able to show us a very good fight, if not win it, because it's just that deadly. And as a Zerg, it's... oh, this is some kind of a bunker rush. Marines coming up, and the pool is there, and I think the bunker is going to be killed. Hello, in time. Okay, that was weird. Now the Marines are being escorted home by a lot of Zerglings, and I like that Microwave just builds a couple of Zerglings more. Have they got speed? They have got speed, so they might actually catch one of these Marines, and now we'll have to back off. Yes, very wise. And try not to get these Lings killed. They heal up pretty fast. They've got not too many hit points, but as a result of that, they also heal up pretty fast. They were nearly dead, and now they're in 4 dots again. So that's going to be quite an issue with the Terran, that the enemy is regenerating. So if you keep your Zerglings alive, and this is just... Okay, so 1 Marine killed for 12 Zerglings, and although they do heal... oh yeah, perhaps all the Marines went off camping. Let's try again. God. Lair coming up. Just keep them, just throwing them away 1 or 2 at a time. It's just not going to work. That's about 20 Zerglings lost already for 1 Marine. And Purple Wave just sitting back and think, oh, if these bloody Zerglings will want to kill themselves, please let them. The lair is there. I've got a spy coming up as well. Neutral minerals being mined out. Very clever. And although that's really not AI-ish, you need to teach a bot how to do that. Just hard-code it. And then you've got all the opportunities of having another path to deal with. I think that Purple Spirit has taken up on the muta thing coming up. A couple of Sunkens to help deflect a Sunken Dust. Will we have mutas? Oh, we'll have 1. So as far as muta switches go, this is pretty deadly. No resources saved for the muta switch. Lots of money being poured into all kinds of things. Upgrades, and we've got 1 muta. Oh, and another one. So we'll soon have 2, which will be pretty formidable. And Purple Spirit is going to defend with a couple of Marines. A couple of stims going off. I think that's as nice as a result you can get with just 2 mutas. Will we have more? Yes, we'll have a couple more. Will we have upgrades for them? No, we will not. And the Zerglings coming in for another clobbering again. Oh, catching a vulture, but refusing to kill it, instead trying to die to the Marines and succeeding quite nicely. Where are the... oh, here is one. Here are the mutas. How many have we got now? So Mutaling can quite effectively fight. We've got 8 mutas. That's okay, but they should fight together, and they are not doing so, and we're just waiting for the enemy to group up. third base for Spirit is there. No, oh, third base for Microwave starting. And although the Mutant Micro is not as good as that of other Zerg bots, say Killer, it's still pretty decent getting stuff done, but that's just not a fight you want to take. And the Micro could be a lot better, and this is more likely. Just sit back behind your Sunkens and then occasionally take a nip at the Marines. Try to kill one, try to kill a medic. And yeah, Microwave on a very low worker count. Again, the third base is sort of up. Oh, and this Irradiate is going to do a lot of damage to your own work. Oh, God. So if you are 30 workers down, please erase your own natural worker line with an Irradiated Overlord. That's the ticket. Meanwhile, the Sunken's doing okay. The Muter's not doing any... Oh! Immediately split, but there are only 2 Muters left, so that's not going to work. There are a lot of drones here, and I really can't think why Microwave would feel the need to build more drones. And there are 2 Muters. And another worker dying over here. I think that Purple Spirit has just won it. Building a lot of stuff all over the place. No 4th base yet, but there is just so much stuff at this point that Marines are going, even without medic cover, after the Sunkens. And there are so many science vessels. Will we have more? Oh, we are going to have a lurker switch. That's a nice trick, but you are going to need to play guard to get back into this game, because as you can see, there is a lot of stuff happening for Purple Spirit, and a lot of units are coming up as well. 4 vessels now, which means a lot of Irradiates. These Sunkens are doing excellently. That's 2 Irradiates just there for you. Just 3 kills at this point. And, well, this is a bit of a wasteful campaign. It's like watching the Battle of the Somme all over again. It's a bad day. It really is a bad day for infantry today. These are science vessels, though. It's a good thing they don't know about erase, because they could have had so much fun here. And although, oh god, these lurkers really doing a lot of damage to their own workers again. More science vessels coming. Will we have more still? No? Yes, one more. I think that 11 science vessels is quite a bit, and all the lurkers you can produce of 2.5 bases is not really going to work, and these Sunkens won't hold forever. There is 1 left, 1 lurker doing great, but immediately getting irradiated. These vessels are on top of things. Together they've got such a lot of energy. They can basically start... Oh, they can't start irradiating Zerglings yet, but any lurker that will rear its head will get a dose of the good stuff. And then Marines will probably mop up the rest. 1 more lurker, and that didn't take long for the science vessels to spot. You can see a lot of them with enough energy for an irradiate. Have they got the energy upgrade? No, haven't got it yet. 3rd base under attack. Yeah, that's the GG. Bots should type out a little bit sooner. Okay, so 1 more upgrade. The Velocirandom bot got upgraded, and I like watching bots which are trying to play random, because it's so hard to do. You need really good play to be effective, and it's still build order and race-specific stuff that will make a bot really shine or really good in comparison to the others. AI-wise, that need not necessarily be the case, but oh well, you know what I mean. We got Martin Royker's Leaderbot as an adversary here in this game. Scouting SCV is still there. It's completely ignored by everyone and everything. The Zealots, though, are rocking up to the base. There is 1 bunker on the high ground without any SCVs for repair. Oh, and they arrive just in time. So if you move up 5 or 6 Zealots and take it by surprise, that might actually work, and try not to waste them needlessly. And I think I'll classify the Zealots as bio, and this is like a fish trap, where you have sub-intelligent fish just trapping themselves on some sticks or something. And yeah, this is happening again and again. So Zealots taking 3 damage. Leaderbot just quietly building the command center on the high ground, building a turret in case some DT stuff comes up. and then having a nice little army while the enemy has not got it at all. Trying to get stuff done with pure gateway is a choice, but you're going to be one base behind, and yeah, it's Goon range, nice touch, but all in all, one base Protoss is not really a thing of the 2019s anymore. And these tanks are doing a lot of damage. The goons now doing quite a bit as well, but they refuse to fight. And then you can see that the combat micro is not up to snuff, even compared to a relatively older bot like Litterbot. Litterbot dishing out a lot of damage to the goons. No second base for Velocirandom yet. Lita taking its sweet time, keeping its tanks at the rear for some reason. But perhaps now they might come up to the front. Oh, and here comes the natural for Velocirandom. A little bit late, but hey, there you go. And not too many goons have been killed, so... Oh, Litterbot now really pressing the issue with Stim. And again, a lot of bio, but this bio might even have the upper hand versus this number of goons. Although, quite a number of Marines will probably die. Here come the medics though, and that's always a bad sign for enemy activity if the medics show up, because these Marines with their Stim, with their range, the +1, +1, +2 armor even starting, are quite deadly, and the tanks just roll up behind this. And as long as the tanks stay alive, any ground you gain as a Terran is a net profit, because you can sort of trade versus the goons, and every inch you get your tanks closer to the enemy choke is a small victory in itself. Lita not taking taking a third base. Oh my god, stop miscalling third bases. That's also a theme of the day. And now the goons are getting completely mopped up. Lita rolling, and yeah, well, that's the game. One more game for an updated bot, Lucas Moravec. Let's see what is going to happen. One day I'm going to witness the breakthrough of Lucas Moravec, and it will probably clobber everyone because Lucas is putting in so much effort. Let's see if this is the day. As an adversary I took Purple Swarm, and Purple Swarm is quite heavy. Oh well, that's the game. Purple Swarm just doing things cool with 4 pool and no Zealot there, so Lucas unfortunately, but no cigar. I have got 2 more games, but which will I save for last? Let's do this one first. It's Steamhammer vs TSMU Terran, and this is not Dragon, so this is basically the older Dragon. Dragon's based off Cherry Pie, and Cherry Pie was made with the help of TSMU, so that's how it is. So this is basically the daddy of Cherry Pie and Dragon. Let's see how it will play. Steamhammer going for quite a number of workers. I like that, because Zerg do have a tendency to misbalance army production and workers. And TSMU has got a couple of Marines in the worker line. We've seen that trick before. It's all over the server now, but TSMU came up with that. And now we've got a Vulture seeking some blood. There is one sunken. And you can see even a very good Terran like TSMU. Such a Terran is wasting units for free on a sunken. Now the Muters are there. And let's see how TSMU is going to deal with that. There are a couple of Marines, but meanwhile a lot of workers are being lost already. And I really like that trick of just sending in the Muters only after they've reached a certain size, because then they can somewhat effectively fight off the Muters, even though they are not stacked in a tight formation. We've got one Goliath, but it's really hesitant to fight. And Steamhammer is in complete control of the main base, and camping the production, that's worse, or that's the same. So, of only 2 bases, I think TSMU didn't expect the Spanish Inquisition and is now getting killed by death from above. I'm really mixing my metaphors and lyrics here, but it's quite good to see more Zergs using Muters. And now it's going to be a fat round of drones and a Queen's Nest. And although there is a lot of money, just no more army production. Lots and lots of drones, but the game is, I think, already won. And TC Moose trying to restart, but is there even a single Marine in that bunker? I don't really know. There is one Marine somewhere, and one Goliath, but the neuter count is still 12. Although Steamhammer is not building anything, just building a lot of infrastructure. And that is the game. Okay, so good that I didn't save that for last one. We've got one more chance, and it is Proxy versus Dragon. And Dragon, of course, is the newer Terran, the newest Terran, doing quite well on the ladder. Let's see how well it actually is doing. It is in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th position. Nearly tied with Steamhammer, so let's see how it can do. And as the opponent, we've got Proxy, which is a very not so sophisticated Zerg, but macro-wise absolutely devastating. And the question is, will Dragon have enough early... How do you say that? You've really got to be on the bounce to see what the Zerg is doing, because already Proxy is on the map with a lot of Zerglings. Let's see if Proxy will try and keep them alive. There is one... there are 2 Vultures out. And that can be quite deadly, especially paired with a bunker. And now they are repaired, so they're doing quite well. We've got no Link speed, no Vulture speed, so all things being equal, the Vultures should have it, and especially with a Wraith on top. Now Proxy is going for some kind of Hydra play. That's pretty weird. And Dragon is completely rolling with the Vultures and the Wraith. Where's the Wraith? Oh, here's the Wraith in the mineral line already. Oh, there is the first Hydra there, so that's okay. That's an Evo chamber. Probably going to build a Spore against the Wraith. And that's just a nice touch to see Zerg players getting Spore colonies as well. Meanwhile, Dragon has got the natural up and running, has got a worker lead, has got an army lead, and Proxy is doing a lot of stuff, but not doing so very effectively. Now, though, building some... oh, that was a major supply block. Some issues with the resource planning, looks like. And now Dragon has got the contain up. Oh, third base. Smuggled a drone out. That can be quite effective. And now the Hydras are breaking out, doing away with the Vultures and the occasional... oh, the Wraith is still there. But not really as good. And as long as this base remains hidden, I think that Proxy has got a decent chance, although Dragon has just started a third of its own. Now, you shouldn't chase units towards your hidden base. The Vulture is... yes. Just took a look and then turned back as not to betray that it had knowledge of this hidden base. But rest assured that Dragon now knows about it. Oh, and it's losing the third base because the forces at the natural are just sitting back at home. And Proxy is in a very good position now. The third base is somewhat populated. And although there are Vultures out, they are being chased by Hydras. And I think, yes, of course, Dragon can hold this. But still, some workers getting killed, and Hydras are doing pretty well against the Vulture. So until Dragon has got either superior forces or vastly superior units, the Hydras will have map control. And here comes the fourth base, and that is where, as a Terran, you've got to be very, very, very careful, because as soon as Zerg are getting 2 bases more than you have, and their worker count is about equal, and that's something to remember as well. As a Zerg, you've got to balance workers with army production, because both come from larvae. That's a very hard thing to do for a Zerg, and in this lull where Dragon can't really project too much force out on the map, Proxy can get stuff done, killing some bio. The bio thing continues. Now the Hydras will have to run, and they are running quite badly because they are stopping sometimes, and there is no Sunken here. Sunken there might do wonders. So if Dragon can demolish this base, or even a couple of bases, the game would be in the bag. And that's just sloppy play from Proxy. The bloody forces are all here, and they are not doing any good there, so this base gets mopped up, record speed. The Hydras are not in a tight formation, and the bio just runs away with it. Now it's Dragon's turn. And compared to Crazio, which plays a Terran mech style, playing heavy bio with good decision making and a good upgrade versus Zerg is absolutely lethal. So if Dragon is going to be equipped with a mech build to counter the big Terrans and perhaps the big Protoss, because, well, face it, it's no longer Seda and Crazio on top of the map, it is the Cutis and Purple Wave dominating the scene. That would be a thing to watch out for. Another base for Proxy, but Proxy hasn't got an army. Yeah, a couple of red-hot Zerglings with decent upgrade, actually, plus 2 armor, no melee upgrades, and got the link speed. But all in all, this game is pretty much over because the worker count's more than double in favor of Dragon. The army count is 5-6 times that of the Zerg. And although Dragon takes its sweet time of getting this base subdued, it is only a matter of time before the Terran forces breach the game. So with that, as this game is wrapping up, I would like to do the same thing to the broadcast. Thank you everyone who has been submitting games. You can see my email address in the upper left. I will be back in 2 weeks, and next week of course Shanko will be there with a beautiful cast, so watch out for that, and also watch out for Dragon. Do not play, if you are going to play Zerg, play it very well, otherwise you'll get steamrolled. And the last game of the day will have a little bit of redemption for the Infantry, which finally is having a victory, and I'd like to conclude with that. So thanks for watching, hope to see you again next week. For now, goodbye.